All the rules of the show are performed by professional soldiers. Please do not try that at home. The Flying F-16 is drifting! Shows an excellent example of his precise control abilities while performing the slowest role that F-15 can throw. Soloturk slow roll. at the lowest possible speed, at the lowest altitude. While our jet is now hovering in mid-air, it will perform a rising his rear up with the Cobra move. Now Soloturk Cobra.
You watch it go, you'll get really noisy. Let's wave hands to him. This will be the last class of Soloturks.
September 1999 and in 2007 it was a joint cargo aircraft JCA competition securing contracts in the highly competitive American market. In its Spartan serves in the 46th Air Brigade in Pisa. Flies worldwide in the United States Air Force and Coast Guard, the Royal Australian Air Force, and the United continues to receive orders from air forces around the world, including Greece, Bulgaria, Lithuania, Mexico, Morocco, Romania, Chad, Belarus, Slovakia, Kenya, Zambia, and Turkmenistan. It has recently attracted significant interest in the Arab world too. The broad sweeping turn fully displays its wingspan of over 28 meters. Highlight of 2024 season, with headlights blazing and flaps extended to position 2, the aircraft stabilized around 400 feet, gracefully will execute a dance. A dance in mid-air with a distinctive singular tilt on the horizontal axis, then the gear lowered and cargo door open. So let's dance together with the Spartan. Let's move on to a grand classic of Italian aerobatic tradition. A maximal wing inclination, lowering the constant altitude, placing a graceful arc on the horizontal plane, otherwise known as the slider turn. Once called the Desenzano turn, it was over the Desenzano Lake Mero, the seaplanes trained for the Schneider Trophy. It was a spectacular and challenging maneuver as the seaplanes into their engine and floors, typically only allowed for lateral possibilities. At the center, on the display line, the old Schneider turn. Performed by seaplanes that were designed for the Schneider Trophy in the 20s and early 30s. It was the golden era of aviation. British made the most out of it. Reginald J. Mitchell's work on low-wing monoplane 4 began with the Silverberry S5 and S6, eventually led to the timeless masterpiece called Spitfire, powered by the Merlin, offspring of the Rolls-Royce R. Well, the C-27J Spartan Schneider turn told this story and brought back memory of big pilots like Hoffman, Stanford, Agello, and the cheers of an enthusiastic crowd with a blind faith in the future. Towering figure in global aviation was one who symbolically ushered Italy into the era of jet aircraft. It was in Rome in 1948 that he flew the David Havilland Vampire, an aircraft that soon entered service with the Italian Air Force. For Vampires formed the first Italian aerobatic team, the very first step towards the Frecce Tricolore. And a respectful salute to our friends from the Frecce Tricolore, who are currently on tour in North America. Now, prepare to be amazed as the Spartan performs a glorious loop. pace and impressive and expected agility. But it's not finished yet. Half jubilation. Aviation bomb to see this looping and come with dry eyes. The rest of the pilot to perform the full C-27J looping was Marco Facciani, who is now the group commander, standing on the ground at the center of the display line, and all the Italian displays are under his technical direction today. So, great job, Marco. Back from 2017 display program, those were looping and half jubilate. Over time, we force experimental aircraft down and put novelties in the air. And little by little, we see aircraft change and all aviation following suit. From your left hand, Torno again. The Spartan surprises everyone with its size, its rounded forms, which is perfectly harmonized with aerodynamics. Well, it combines engineering and poetry in a style that has yet to be evolved. And now, ladies and gentlemen, behold this magnificent steep approach, and also take the moment.
In the CF-188 from 45 Tactical Fighter Squadron at Canadian.
Thanks to the power of its two Honeywell F-124G200 turbofan engines, the Master can take off from currently available on the market. It's designed to help pilots learn the wing. Maximum range 360-degree turn with an aileron roll at each cardinal point, east, north, west and south. The maneuver highlights the tight turning radius of 200 degrees per second. Of its class is partly due to innovative aerodynamic features like the leading-edge wing extensions, LERPs. These shoulder extensions connect the wing to the fuselage, creating control boxes that keep the airflow energized on the wing, preventing stalls, even at a high angle of attack. This ensures stable lift by keeping the airflow attached. Designed specifically for efficiency and sonic speed to minimize maximum capability. Extension, enhancing performance at low speeds and high angle of attack. Additionally, the Masters was what engineers usually call a sawtooth. A sawtooth design is a discontinuity on the wing surface that generates a control vortex towards the rear wing tip, where the control surfaces are located. One of the key strengths of the Master is that it's not just a mini fighter like the T-50 GoldenEye, but a highly advanced trainer. The M346 represents a natural evolution from a basic training, retaining both safety and forgiveness feature while incorporating a digital high-performance environment typically found only in fighter jets. Sleek design and powerful engines of talent trainer have been showcased right now in this low bus, making it the perfect moment for your test shots. Today we have a great background experience in the Typhoon. He counts more than 2,100 flight hours. Overall, Marco kept the layout of the previous display pilot, but he made some tweaks on the river, the flying aerobatic sequence, just to improve the steady without compromising technical aspects. The result you are seeing right now, a fascinating blend. Of maneuvers that are visually striking and really showcase the 346 Masters feature. An inverted slider over the course by 2 derby turn. This is a complex sequence exploring the full envelope from -3G to +5G. Coming up, a complete speed on the horizontal axis from inverted flight. Like in a music sheet, the maneuver is called non quattro tempi. Rotation around the roll axis of the flight performs slowly while maintaining stable altitude at a full angle. throughout the maneuver. It's not very easy. As you may have already realized, the P-46 is fully digital, like the most modern combat aircraft. It features a fly-by-wire control system with all levels of redundancy. But despite its combat-like capabilities, it also has a magic button, the PARS, Pilot Automatic Recovery System. But if the pilot gets disoriented, pressing the button will have the aircraft quickly to a safe flight condition. Inverted flight with your nose. There are countless technical hardware details that deserve a mention, but probably the most impressive innovations are in the software. The aircraft is arguably unique, primarily because of the ETTS, Embedded Tactical Training System. It's a software that lets pilots interact with friendly and enemy entities during training. It uses onboard computers to create virtual missiles, ships, tanks, aircraft carriers, enemy planes, and other entities. The collaboration between Italian Air Force and Leonardo has established an international...
Since the end of the Cold War, because it was from the MiG-21 that the Gripen took over in holding quick reaction alert in the Czech Republic. And ever since then, these aircraft have maintained a 24-hour a day commitment to NATO air defence, as well as participating in two key initiatives, Baltic and Icelandic air policing, providing air defence for 3 Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and for Iceland, none of whom have their Eurofighter aircraft. Using the weather to the best of its ability. Out to the right hand side showing the full show, out to the left hand side showing the flat and rolling show. Coming in from the right for a 0.9 Mach high speed pass. High speed front is Slovakia. They're waiting for F-16s to replace their now retired MiG-29s. And so the Czech Gripens have also been involved in defending the skies of Slovakia against potential threats. This display all about showcasing this advanced fly-by-wire system, which essentially gives the pilot carefree handling. So a lot of the flypasts you'll see will go into a very high pitch rate of somewhere in the region of 40 degrees per second. The pilot backflipping the aircraft without any concern about over-G'ing or overstressing the aircraft. Israeli Air Force after birds, as I mentioned, in the Quran through stones to protect the Kaaba, the building at the centre of the Islamic holy site of Mecca, in the face of an attack by an elephant army from the kingdom of Aqsa. State-of-the-art combat asset, part of Boeing's advanced Eagle family, based on the F-15E Strike Eagle for the US Air Force, so in two-seat configuration. The first of the line was the F-15SA for Saudi Arabia, of which we've got one in the static park here.
Roughly 17 degrees per second, which was very, very little difference between the clean jet version, which was turning at just over 19 degrees per second. Now here's something we've not seen from F-15 display before, a tail slide. F-15QA for Qatar Advanced, the second member of the Advanced Eagle family. First flown at St. Louis, Missouri in April 2020. It's got a stronger wing, it's got advanced crew stations for both crew members with a low-profile head-up display and large colour displays. Also the nose profile, slightly revised for the Raytheon AN/APG 82 radar, which this is the first non-American operated aircraft to carry, and more weapon hardpoints. And another feature, many Eagle derivatives, right back to the early days of the F-15A and B models, have been conformal fuel tanks, which allow the carriage of extra fuel without the attendant drag and performance penalties of drop tanks under wing. Well, these on the F-15QA can carry about 10,000 pounds of fuel. This aircraft is in service, the type with Flying Wing 5 at Al Udeid, and the delivery of the first batch of 36 Abafields to Qatar concluded in August of last year.
And any other accompanying artifacts with you at all times throughout the course of today, just to avoid any unnecessary security issues. But if you do see anything suspicious at all during the course of the day, please contact any member of our staff, the friendly air to two crew, or indeed the policemen that are patrolling around the ground. Thank you.
Eventus radius, high precision turn with a 300 feet. Rafael to wriggle out and exit the turn. And now, inverted flight. Starting from the upside down view of the world, and precisely the high responsible flight control, which makes it easier for the pilot to control and manage any sudden unexpected blow. With over 2,000 fly hours and 1,035 sorties, mostly safeguarding airline skies, the Typhoon's record speaks for itself. From crisis zones to international exercises like Red Flag in Alaska or Pitch Black in Australia, and in the Pacific region, which is being carried out like now. But let's take a closer look at the Typhoon structure. The front fuselage houses the radar, avionics, cannon whiskers, and then in-flight refueling control. The center section has the dorsal air brake and ventral air intakes, and here there are two separate compartments with the titanium fiber, and of course the engine. Trajectory in active, especially at low altitude. Aerodynamics is complex and regulated by electronics. The fly-by-wire control system is entirely digital and crucial for stability control. Special attention is given to the thrust-weight ratio. The center of pressure is located further forward and the aircraft center of gravity. But with the afterburners on, the center of pressure shifts behind the center of gravity, providing further stability. sacrifice means ultimate sacrifice.
Spectacle, and as the smoke goes off, we'll see the Patrouille Suisse positioning their F-5s to land, while the Royal Air Force.
Together for the 2024 Royal Air Force Air and Battle Team, it's the Red Arrows! Riding in that famous Diamond 9, we are world's biggest red, white and blue training out the rear. Red one initially pulls him up and brings him off to the left-hand side, which it shows to me he is starting the show flat. However, that gives you a great picture of that plan forward shape of that Diamond 9. Reds 8 and 9 now moving themselves left and right into 9 Arrow. Leading the team this year, we have a new team leader this year. He's a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified flying instructor on the Tucano, where he was the Tucano display pilot in 2012. As Reds 8 and 9 now perform a rollback, taking the 9 Arrow into play. There are actually 11 pilots in the Red Arrows, Reds 1 through 9 displayed in front of you. Myself, Red 10, former Tornado GR4 pilot, former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk Team Mark II. And of course we are commanded by Officer Commanding RAF Wing Commander Adam Collins, my predecessor as Red 10, a former Tornado GR4 pilot and former pilot on the F-111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force. On the 6th of June 2024, the nation celebrated, commemorated and paid tribute to all those who took part in Operation Overlord, which of course was the storming of the Normandy beaches on D-Day. And in tribute to all those that took part in the operation, and paid tribute to those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. This is Spitfire. In his first year on the team, as an evaluation pilot on 41 Squadron RAF Typhoon. Reds 4 and 5, the smoke goes off as the team roll out. November 2023 was the 20th anniversary of the final flight of one of the most iconic aircraft in aviation history. As the team roll out, there is no mistaking the majestic and iconic shape of the Concorde. The wings of the Concorde now start to flex forward as Reds 8 and 9 make their way to the outermost, as all the front section starts to run alongside Red 1, with Reds 6 and 7 splitting at the rear. Royal International Air Tattoo, get your cameras ready for the colourful Phoenix!
Oh.
In the middle of that right wing is Red 4, that's Lieutenant Ollie Suckling. Second year on the team, he was Red 4 that last year. He remained as Red 4 and took up the role of Uncle Enid. Uncle Enid is a mentor role. He works alongside Red 1 in winter training to ensure that the new pilots joining the team attain and maintain the standards required of a Red Arrows pilot. All the Red Arrows must have approximately 1,000 to 1,500 passenger hours be assessed as above average in the air and have one operational tour before they can even apply to join the team. All those applicants for the new year. Reds 8 and 9 now move backwards to two distinctive rows in the formation as they come in from the right in chevron. Them are the engineers, the mechanics, the operations, the public relations, the administrators, and they are known as the Blues. So called because of the blue flying coverall that they wear. There are a number of Blues here today at our public relations centre in the RAF village. So please pop along, have a word with them, find out what they do about their jobs on the Red Arrows, and of course their RAF careers to date. You now see the formation start to break.
One of my favourites.
You may be able to see in that front section the aircraft are flying with their air brakes out. That's a small door at the base of the aircraft towards the rear. This has twofold effect. The first effect means the pilots are flying with a higher throttle setting, thereby it produces a hotter engine gas temperature, making the smoke colours burn a lot more brightly. In addition, it disturbs the airflow outside the back of the aeroplane and makes that smoke billow and fulfill a lot more fuller. And therefore, in certain manoeuvres in the display, we'll use that technique to enhance those displays. As we come to the end of the first half, you'll see Reds 8 and 9 have joined the rest of the formation, and this will be your last opportunity to get that iconic picture of our iconic Diamond 9 for 2024. In from the right, the smoke will go on. Once again, in our world famous Diamond 9, it's a 2024 Red Arrow. As we go into the second half, you'll see a manoeuvre not flown since 2003. This is the 5-4-3. As we go into the second half, the team will now break down into two sections. Off to the right you have Reds 1 through 5, they are now known as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5 from the children's books. Off to the left hand side you have Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9 known as Hannah, named after squad leader Ray Hallett. Enid from the right, for the 5-4 cross.
Very dramatic, isn't it?
They can get one photo.
To the left-hand side. The Red Arrows were formed in 1964 with our first public display in 1965. The Red Arrows were actually formed from 3 different display teams around at the time. The Red Pelicans, the Black Arrows and the Yellow Jacks. We took the red from the Red Pelicans, the arrows from the Black Arrows to give us our name, and we took the aircraft from the Yellow Jacks. In tribute to that aircraft, Enid from the right, the smoke comes on, flying the Gnat. When we took control of the Hawk T-Mark 1, which is still the aircraft that we fly today. So come on, rolling around 6 and 7. Get your cameras ready. It's the Hannah break.
Break. Hannah break.
Oh,
break.
And the synchro pair are led by the synchro leader, that's Flight Lieutenant Stu Roberts, red 6 to our right, smoking white. Stu is in his third and final year of the team, a former Typhoon pilot with 11 and 12 squadron RAF Chinook in Lincolnshire. Each pair will now dive down to only 100 feet above the airfield. They've got a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour in the Hannah Pass.
Here they come. They're coming.
Red 8 and 9 going up and down in the roller coasters, followed by red 6 and 7 stage. That's the synchro pair turn hard for the Cyclone. And you'll see red 9 running in 100 feet over 450 miles per hour. Red 9 is Flight Lieutenant Patrick Kershaw, known as Paddy, former Tornado pilot, former Typhoon pilot, his third and final year on the team as he turns towards Enid. Diamond high smoke of the red, white and blue as Enid join us and go off to our left hand side. Once again smoking our famous red, white and blue. Red 6 on the left, red 7 on the right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. The smoke comes on for the world famous Synchro Heart. And coming in from the high right hand side is red 8 as red 8 spears the heart. Red 8 is Flight Lieutenant Mitch Walker, an extremely accomplished aviator, having flown both the Harrier and the Typhoon, as well as flown as a qualified flying instructor on the RAF T-Mark II. Let's give red 6, 7 and 8 a massive round of applause for a wonderful heart in the sky. Once again by red 8 and 9. Once again, red 9 calls the board as red 8 and 9 roll around the smoke in corkscrew.
It's corkscrew. Individuals who get to fly in the back of our aircraft in between displays when we cannot take the full engineering complement. They are known as Circus. One individual with me at every show is Circus 10, that's Corporal Phil Dye. He's out front filming the show for safety and debriefing purposes. He's also responsible for taking all the images and videos from the back of my aeroplane when we fly around the display, capturing those iconic pictures all across social media. Red 6 from the left, red 7 from the right. Once again, the closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. Each aircraft will conduct a 360-degree aileron roll before turning hard away from each other. Each aircraft now coming up to 5 to 6 G, which means anything about us is weighing 5 to 6 times heavier. Red 6 now off to the left, red 7 off to the right, completing a manoeuvre called the carousel. Look to your front right, over the belly, systems handle once again, and Enid running back in with the smoke in white. Red 1 pulls him up. He puts the colour on and he flies a barrel roll, leaving a snake-like smoke trail in the sky for the first part of the manoeuvre we like to call the Serpent. And you can see see that red, white and blue popping off against the grey skies. That red, white and blue is only capable due to the smoke pod on the aeroplane. That's a small tank under the belly of the aircraft. The smoke pod is capable of producing approximately 5 minutes of white smoke, 4 minutes of blue smoke and 1 minute of red smoke, with all of the colours having their own individual button on the pilot's control column. During winter training, Red 1 and Red 6 come up with a smoke plan to ensure that we have the right colour smoke at the right time in the display and we simply do not run out. Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 now moved up alongside Red 1, looking 90 degrees along their shoulder line while pulling 3 to 4G. The smoke comes on to complete the coils of the Serpent. As Enid leaves to the front left 45, look directly all the way to the left hand side and you can see Red 6, 7, 8 and 9 running back in. 6 rolls in. Easing up as Red 6 starts to push up to negative 3G and conducts an inverted barrel roll. Red 6 working hard against that negative G, all the blood rushing to his head as Red 6, 7, 8 and 9 hold on in the barrel roll to complete the mirror roll. With the mirror roll finished by Reds 8 and 9 performing a rollback. And leaving to your right hand side, all the way to your left hand side. Once again, you've got Enid running in. That's Reds 1 through 5 in line abreast formation. 2 and 3, roll goes the commanders. Reds 2 and 3, roll to the outside. Clear goes, Reds 4 and 5, roll to the outside. In one of the hardest manoeuvres of new pilots each year have to master, this is rollbacks. As Enid leads to your right, look directly to your front. As they do a wonderful 60 in the sky to celebrate 60 display seasons for the Red Arrows. Keep an eye on Red 6 and 7 breaking underneath the 60. They'll pull up for their final manoeuvre of the show. They'll dive down to again, once again, only 1 mile per hour. Get your cameras ready for the colourful and dynamic synchro double roll.
There they go. Double rolls nowadays. You get it when they Ready? There, look, double roll.
Running back in for the fix and break. Royal International Air Tattoo, it's been an honour and a pleasure. Please put your hands together for the 2024 Red Arrows! Joining Hoots in the cockpit today is Flight Lieutenant Dwayne Edwards, known to us as Dingle. Dwayne hasn't always been a pilot though, initially commissioning into the elite RAF regiment. After completing a ground tour as a flight commander on Op Harrier in Afghanistan, Dingle saw the light and transitioned across to aircrew. He credits his success to his extremely patient family, who are here supporting today. So from all of us at the Roll Demo team, a huge thank you to Happy, Hugo and George. The underslung load of troops that we're carrying today weighs approximately 2 tons. And if you can listen closely, you'll hear the gearboxes working just a little bit harder
as they cater for the extra weight. The Chinook is famous worldwide, not only for its ability to carry 3 underslung loads simultaneously, but also its load carrying capacity, both externally and internally. In today's configuration, the aircraft can carry an incredible 6 additional tons of freight and still achieve an impressive range of 300 miles. Today, the Chinook will simulate conducting an accessional weapons drop off close to the front line. Under the watchful eye of Sergeant Lawson, JHSS have wrecked the landing site and will mark it with smoke. Not only does this identify the drop-off area, but also gives troops an appreciation of the wind direction and strength. Once safely on the deck, the JHSS team will leave the aircraft in order to attach the gun to the Land Rover, provide mutual support ahead of moving it onwards to its battlefield location. The team are now positioning to drop the underslung load in front of you. Dropping off an underslung load requires robust and effective communication between all members of the crew, as the pilots are unable to see what's going on underneath the aircraft. This is achieved by crewmen in the rear cabin painting a mental picture for the pilots over the intercom, using voice marshalling to direct the aircraft to the precise drop-off point, and ensuring the aircraft lands safely clear of the load. At ODM, we're fortunate to have our own underslung load training area, and this allows crews to practice lifting a variety of items, from nested barrels to heavy ISO containers. This invaluable training wouldn't be possible without the support of JHSS, who offer specialist skills in underslung load operations. Having successfully dropped the gun, Coots is now manoeuvring the aircraft forward and down away from the load to allow the troops to disembark and set up in a defensive posture. As the aircraft transitions away into forward flight, the Chinook will now reposition to provide overwatch for the troops on the ground, scanning the area ahead for potential threats, before returning to the drop site to offer close-in support. Although not fitted today, 3 defensive weapon systems can be found mounted on the helicopter, 1 on either side and 1 on the tail ramp. Their sole use is to protect the aircraft and are only used in life-threatening situations.
The commentator sounds like Steve Backshall.
Coots is now repositioning to set up to fly a profile known as the dog bone.
Doesn't he?
Named as such because of the pattern it makes when viewed from above. The dog bone keeps the aircraft's weapon systems looking towards potential threats for a maximum amount of time. As Coots flies past, he will keep the speed back and present the starboard weapon system to the threat side and give the troops on the ground maximum support while they conduct their mission-critical tasks. If you have a camera handy, the dog bone provides a cracking opportunity for a great photo, and you can get ready to hear the Chinook's iconic blade slap. As the aircraft flies past the landing site, Coots will quickly snap the aircraft away from the ground before reversing the turn, bringing the aircraft back around in the opposite direction. Whilst the Chinook operates above on the ground, we can see JHSS, who are the specialist helicopter handling unit for defence. JHSS are a joint squadron made up of both Army and RAF personnel, and are based out of RAF Benson in Oxfordshire. Formed during the Falklands War, they primarily work with our UK support helicopters, including the Chinook, Puma and Merlin. They work tirelessly to provide specialist helicopter landing site reconnaissance and the movement of essential supplies by internal and external loads, exactly as you see during today's role demonstration. As the Chinook begins its second pass of the dog bone, you will be able to see the team's number 2 crewman looking out of the starboard window. Operating from the number 2 position today, it's our handsome French exchange crewman, Warrant Officer Fabien Chauchoir. Fabien has been operating with the squadron for the last 2 years, proving that the famous Entente Cordiale is still going strong. So give Fabien away. You'll notice Coots is working hard to handle the corner smoothly today, and not only does this offer mechanical sympathy to the aircraft, but also make sure any passengers remain in a fighting fit state to conduct their duties whilst on the ground. From threats. As the aircraft repositions, we'd like to express our gratitude to
to our air operations staff, who ensure all of our training runs smoothly, the logisticians who ensure spare parts and fuel are where they're required, and the air traffickers we work alongside who ensure safe landings every time. The next manoeuvre the team will demonstrate is a nose-down quick stop. This is a flying technique that's used to turn the aircraft on a sixpence. Quick stops are a core handling skill for pilots, which allow us to keep speed as long as possible, and are particularly useful when the troops are spotted late in an approach or during dusty brownout or snowy whiteout conditions. This dynamic manoeuvre enables us to rapidly adjust from maximum flying speed to bringing support to troops on the ground in the minimum time. Coots is setting up at 140 miles per hour, and he will rapidly decelerate the aircraft and turn with pedals, forcing the side of the aircraft into a windbreak. The Chinook will then be expeditiously manoeuvred forward and down in order to recover the troops. Into the hover. The crew will now open them up and give our crewmen the best seat in the house at riat. And as Mal dons the iconic orange hands to wave us all a final goodbye, riat, can I ask that you please put your hands together and give a huge wave to the team. We love seeing your photos and videos, so if you take any good ones today, we'd be very grateful if you can tag us using the hashtag #BlazeFlat. And as a reminder, you can come and find us over at the RAF event all day today. On behalf of myself, Coots and the team, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day and look forward to seeing you all again very soon. So, for one last time, please put your hands together for the 2024 Chinook Royal Demonstration. Thank you.
Thank you, Worley, for talking us through it in such fine style. And the Chinook's clearing back to its parking spot. And we'll be moving on with our next display very shortly, which is the Royal Norwegian Air Force, with their demonstration team, the Yellow Sparrows. This display is the team's reserve pilot, Lieutenant Colonel Eric Nicholson. Eric, a warm welcome to you again.
Very much.
And nice that the team should have a rather lighter sky than you had yesterday. You flew yesterday in some of the darkest conditions of the entire day.
Yeah, but we weren't limited to our low program yesterday.
No.
We still flew our high program, because it's the same.
A charming little aircraft, the MFI-15. What do you use it for in the flying school?
Yeah, we are called the Flying School. That's the name of the unit, but we actually is a selection unit. We select the candidates to do pilot training which is done in the US. So we have a lot of people, applicants to be a pilot, and we have about 5% of those coming through. So in the last stages, this is the selection program with about 20 hours in the sub-safari. There's about 50% washout rate.
Am I right in thinking that those who go on for this selection to pilot training have already undergone some pre-screening?
Yes. There's intensive medical and aptitude and all kinds of physical tests before they come to us. So there's a small percentage of the total applicants that comes to the flying school.
And the Safari replaced another very familiar Saab aircraft in service with the flying school, the Saab 91 Safir.
Yeah, that's true. This Sub-Safari was acquired by the Norwegian Air Force in the early 80s, 81, 82. And it's been flying for more than 40 years, and it's getting due for a replacement. So we are starting the project in order to replace the Sub-Safari.
So coming in then for the first pass, tell us about the formation and who's leading it.
Yeah, the leader is Lieutenant Colonel Yogi, F-16 background, and also been flying search and rescue in the Norwegian Air Force. He has 5,000 flight hours. They're coming in what we call a triangle or a delta formation.
Nobody's perfect, are they?
In number 2, we have Captain Tinka. She's a female pilot, one of the first in the Norwegian Air Force, and she is also one of the most experienced pilots in the Norwegian Air Force with more than 9,000 flight hours. Number 3 is Captain Terako, which is his background from C-17s and Falcon 20s. Flames is his number 4. He is a maritime patrol aircraft driver, P3 Orion, with about 2,500 flight hours. And the only guy in the team is call sign is Skids, about 1,000 hours. His background is from C-130. And in the back, we have the oldest guy in the formation. He's a F-16 pilot with more than 6,000 flight hours. He is a proud grandfather of 2.
So Eric, the beautiful gloss yellow and red colour scheme looking fantastic against those skies. Yeah. What's the reasoning behind that?
It's visibility, to be able to see each other. Originally the aircraft was all out green, a military green, but they changed it during the early 2000s to yellow. The original color scheme for the Norwegian flying school was blue and yellow, which some of us think is even better than yellow only.
Sounds like a good idea for the 2025 display season.
Maybe. Formation now is chevron. And they will change formation when they turn away into the arrow formation.
And we get a really good view here, Eric, of the quite unusual appearance of the Safari with the slightly forward-swept wings and that big bubble canopy.
Yes, some say that the forward sweep is aerodynamic, gives some aerodynamic advantages. And some people say that it's because the aircraft does not want to fly that fast. The cruising speed is about 100 knots.
So the other thing that appears evident with the layout of the design of the aircraft is the fact that the wings are neither top nor bottom mounted or shoulder mounted. What's the advantage of that?
Shoulder mounted wings give you a far better visibility. You can see look down without the obstruction of the wing, and you can look up without the obstruction of the wing. So it's a very good feature for this type of aircraft.
And with it flying at 100 knots, how many hours did you log up on the way over the last few days?
We've been flying from Bardufoss north in Norway, far above the Arctic Circle. We were in an air show in Norway, southern part of Norway, about a month ago, and then we flew down here from Oslo last week. Total is about 20-hour transit each way.
Wow. So possibly another 15 to get back to Bardufoss.
Or 20.
Or 20. Looking for a tailwind.
Yeah, we are hoping for a tailwind. We have the 20 knots headwind on the way here to Germany, so yes. We're now passing in a trail formation. And when they turn around, we're going to transfer to what we call a dart or a rocket formation. All the pilots, they are full-time instructors on the flying school. We have 2 classes every year, so the next class is starting early August, and the flying portion for that class will be starting August, September, late August, early September. And they will finish up in late November, and the next class started in early January. Like we told you from Bardufoss, which is a familiar field for RAF and the Naval Air Arm. We have the Commando Helicopter Force flying Wessex, Sea Kings, Merlins since the late 60s, and for the last 20 years the Joint Helicopter Command has, they have actually had their own base inside our perimeter, and they have to do winter training every year with all kinds of support helicopters from the Joint Helicopter Command, or rather Joint Aviation Command.
Yes, and of course it goes outside of the rotary wing specialisations. The Jaguar Force used to deploy there fairly regularly, and I've deployed there with the Tornado Force in the past.
Yeah, we had the Jaguars and Harriers several times every year doing their exercises with number 1 and number 41 Squadron.
And earlier this year, I think the Army Air Corps carried out the last deployment of the Mark 1 Apache to Bardufoss as part of their winter training.
Yeah, that's true. We have had the Apache for several years, and they will be back for the new version as well, I hope. We have the Chinook and the display here. They are also familiar at the Bardufoss.
Now this is a very, very good formation display indeed in these low-powered aircraft. The engine is the flat 4 Lycoming IO 360 of 200 horsepower. And of course, flying in formation in low-powered aircraft such as these is all the more difficult, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Compared to flying in a high-performance jet, it's a big challenge. But we can see they're coming straight towards the audience, and they will spread out for the last formation part to do the fan or the starburst burst. And then they will come around and wave to the audience.
And they certainly deserve your appreciation, because apart from being a beautifully flown display in these little aeroplanes, this has been an incredible effort to get here, and it's going to be an incredible effort to get back to Bardufoss after the show. So as they come past, do show how much you've enjoyed the display by the Yellow Sparrows, their UK debut. Every aircraft waving in a very slightly different way to the previous.
Yeah, so we're told we can do individual waves.
Yes. So another window visible behind the main canopy. Does that facilitate the fixing of another seat into the aircraft?
Yeah, it's possible to fit the seat the wrong way, facing off. So normally it's only used for baggage and gear.
With 2 Leonardo Wildcat HMA-2 maritime attack helicopters. These from 85 Air Squadron, part of the Wildcat Maritime Force, headquartered and based at Royal Naval Air Station Yeovilton in Somerset, and together they form the Royal Navy's helicopter display team, the Black Cats, named after a piece of naval slang for one-upmanship. This team formed out of the former Lynx pair that began displaying in the early 2000s. We've recently seen the Black Cats performing solo Wildcat displays, but just a few days ago, in time for last weekend's Southport Air Show, they received their PDA, their public display authorization, for the 2-ship routine that we are about to see. So just the second outing for the 2-ship Black Cats mass public show in 2024. So the Augusta Westland now Leonardo AW159 Wildcat is a model-like helicopter that is an evolved development of the Westland Super Lynx. Wildcat is being produced in 2 different versions, a battlefield support version, which is in service with the British Army, and a maritime support variant that we see here today being operated by the Royal Navy, with both sharing structural and airframe commonality, but with very different mission systems and weapon fits. As far as the naval one we see here is concerned, the weapons can include .50 caliber machine guns, torpedoes, the marklet of sea venom missiles and more, running in for their first pass. 2 Wildcats of the Black Cats, and they'll be pulling up into initial 360-degree maneuvers. as they head off towards the right for a formation wingover. Leading the team as Black 1 for 2024 is Lieutenant Michael Vivian, who joined the Royal Navy in February 2013. He's been on the Wildcat Maritime Force since 2017, and he's been operating the type notably on several tours in the Middle East, both land-based operations out of Oman and aboard HMS Kent, as well as providing force protection to the new aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth, operating off HMS Defender. There's Black 2, Lieutenant Scott Sunderland rolls over the top of Black 1 as they fly away from us, heading here down what we refer to as the B-axis. So the A-axis is the display axis that you see a lot of the aircraft flying along as they pass along the line of the runway. The B-axis is at 90 degrees onto that, and the two Wildcats pull up and perform synchronised wingovers. Black 2, Lieutenant Scott Sunderland, has been in the Navy since 2010. He joined as a direct entry pilot, went through flying training and was streamed straight onto the Wildcat from there. And his recent activities operationally really show very well what this type has been up to. He deployed to the Middle East in 2018 aboard HMS Dragon and was involved in, on one occasion, seizing more than £145 million worth of drugs in a counter-narcotics operation for the record. The UK warship in that region. Coming back to the UK, he trained as a maritime counter-terrorism and interdiction pilot. Spent 2 years on the Navy's equivalent of alert, basically, holding a short notice roster in case of maritime terrorism incidents. So out of that formation nose over, we now see the two Wildcats rejoining, heading back down to about 100 feet. And they'll be coming into the hover and initially moving rearwards to give you all a bow. As a new build airframe or a Lynx or Super Lynx, can be used as a donor airframe in order to reduce costs, with the Wildcat sharing roughly 5% of its parts in common. In addition to the UK, the type is also flown by the Republic of Korea Navy and the Philippine Navy. All the Royal Navy Wildcats new build airframes, 27 option is available for customers should they wish, with plenty of Lynx still being available as donor airframes around the world. Definitely. So climbing again, in front of us, ready for another vertiginous nose over. the fact that there are both Army Air Corps and Royal Navy versions of the Wildcat. Both of them have this wheeled undercarriage. One way you used to be able to distinguish Navy from Army links was that the Army Air Corps links had skids as landing gear, and the Naval ones had a wheeled undercarriage. That was apart from the Army Mark 9s, which had wheels.
That made the reconnaissance or the recce of it very, very simple, as you say. It's changed, but it is slightly different in profile. In addition to the highly visible sea-scanning radar, the Wildcat, this variant we see in front of us, the HME-2, can carry a mix and match of missiles with up to 20 arbitrary range and up to 4 Sea-Venom heavy strike anti-surface missiles.
This is very much a part, isn't it, of the modernisation of Fleet Air Arm air power in recent years, with the F-35B, Lightning, the Crow's Nest Merlin replacing the old AEW Sea Kings. We've got one of those Merlins here in the static for the first time, and the new Queen Elizabeth class Harriers.
Of course, those technological upgrades have also increased interoperability with a platform proven in September 2022 and a maritime Wildcat laser designated the target, which was then subsequently attacked by an RAF Typhoon with a payboy 4 bomb.
So crossing break there in front of us as they swap positions. But they're now getting ready for their final break. Running in straight in front of you, the Leonardo Wildcat HMA-2s of the Royal Navy Helicopter Display Team, the 2024 Black Cats.
And just visible there, one of the two elements that were put into this aircraft to reduce the observability of it. The first one being a diffuser on the exhaust.
Just before they go into their display, they're just going to check the cloud base, because obviously that could have an impact. Royal Jordanian Falcons. They start in box formation, rolling right to perform a quarter clover leaf. And they stay in this very tight box formation to perform a barrel roll. Well, when we call it a barrel roll, they're about in parlance. If you imagine a barrel blade on its side, the aircraft following the path all the way around 360, very much pitching and rolling in its vertical. Leading the team for 2024 is the Royal Jordanian Falcons Director of Operations, Jamil Zayad. He's been with the team since 2002 and has some 3,700 flying hours. Now, we're going over to the right, and we'll shortly see the formation changing. They just skirt a little bit of drifting low cloud. We'll be getting into T for Tango formation with the two wingmen now coming up in line abreast on the leader for the Tango loop. After initially flying the mid-wing extra 300 for a few years, they switched to the low-wing 300L. It was in 2018 that they upgraded to this outstanding 330LX model. Now Take-off, purpose-built for what we see. Negative G push out of that half Cuban. But they're pulling through down towards the right-hand end. Yes, mentioning World Championships there, Mark. This is the mount of choice, the Extra 330 series in single-seat 330SC form of France's national competition aerobatic team, which their Air Force operates, the Équipe de Voltige de l'Armée de l'Air, which has many world champions to its credit.
Yeah, absolutely. And the derivative of this aircraft type was the winner of the Delhart Memorial Trophy. Just a month ago, it's the RAF Continental.
Yes, with the French pilot, Captain Sébastien Suchet, at the controls. And more negative G now, as they perform an inverted turn. But all the while, the formation absolutely immaculate.
It's absolutely beautiful. This aircraft is capable of an eye-watering +10 and -10 Gs. We've already seen an aircraft today powered by a Lycoming engine, that being the 4-cylinder IO360 with the Safari. But this engine, that's powering the extra 330, has an extra bank of cylinders, making it a 6-cylinder, 315 horsepower AEIO 580.
As we look at them, flying on the left wing of the formation is Major Ferras Alvoitat. He's been a team member since 2022 with 1,350 flying hours. He makes a lot of use of these water cloverleaf manoeuvres as repositioning device is always very, very attractive. Heading away from us now on the B-axis, and this is where we see the formation split into two pairs, and this is their salute to all of you, the Royal Jordanian Falcons heart. All the pilots in the team are either current or former members of the Royal Jordanian Air Force, flying combat and transport types of one type or another, including some with F-16 experience. And as I mentioned, the front line of the Royal Jordanian Air Force represented with us for the first time in many years by a pair of F-16s in our Viper line here, and they've also got one of their C-130H Hercules transport aircraft in the static, always a regular visitor to the Air Tattoo, and it's the Royal Jordanian Air Force Hercs that bring over the extras to Europe every summer for their annual tour, now coming past in opposition, and we'll see them split. And we now see three of the aircraft exiting the stage, giving us our first chance to enjoy some solo action from the man who was flying at the back of the box formation, retired Royal Jordanian Air Force Colonel Sharif Hatouk. He's been with the team since 2017. He has the most flying hours of any of the pilots in this display, in excess of 5,700 and counting. Ratio of the extra EA330 LX well on show there. But now Sharif Hatouk heads away from us as the main three-ship formation run in, and he crosses with them. They're now in line abreast formation for the line abreast loop.
This very strong airframe is built with TIG-welded steel tube construction, with the wings, the rudder and the landing gear all manufactured out of composite material. The aircraft is a two-seater, but interestingly, for centre of gravity considerations, the rear seat only is instrumented for the piloting command, and they are flying solo today from the rear seat.
Barrel roll off to the right. The three aircraft now pull up on the 45-degree line, still in quite close formation, and this time it's synchronised stall turns. The airspeed bleeds off The rudder is applied and round they go. And we'll see here the lead pilot and the right wingman going to mirror formation with the left wingman flying barrel rolls around them. The right wingman here, the aircraft on top of the mirror formation, is Lieutenant Colonel Mohammed Abu Al-Jazar. He's new to the Royal Jordanian Falcons this year. He has 2,100 flying hours. The soloist is then for a gliding slide. And then torque rolling back down. And as the solo exits, it crosses again with the 3-ship. Cloverleaf, but this time a flourish comes with a downward split. All three aircraft going vertical and rolling in the vertical. All three to stall turns as the soloist enters again. This time it's for a short program of freestyle aerobatics. The powerful right-turning engine coupled with a four-bladed constant speed prop made by MT propellers of Germany. Theory of a constant speed propeller is that the pilot selects the RPM required, in this instance 2500 RPM, which is 80% power. And the engine, then the governor of the propeller then varies the pitch angle of the propeller to maintain that RPM. And the pilot then just flies the aircraft depending on what power is required using the socket. And that's why on some of the downward maneuvers there's very little change in engine pitch because the engine hasn't changed RPM. Time now for one of the signature maneuvers of the team. We see them rolling out in front of us with smoke on. The team comes from the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, and this manoeuvre is their Hashemite break. As I said, it was at the personal request of the late His Majesty King Hussein bin Talal that the team was founded on the King's Special in 1976. And King Hussein was a great supporter, as indeed all of the Jordanian royal family always has been, of the air tattoo show. And we see a very precise multiple crossover straight in front of us. Following the death of King Hussein at the 1999 Royal International Air Tattoo, the extra 300s of the Royal Jordanian Falcons flew with the de Havilland Dove that had been one of the late King's personal aircraft in a memorable formation. Hard to believe that's 25 years ago now. That Dove, one of numerous personal mounts of the King, who also was well known for flying into the air tattoo in the Jordanian Royal Flying Lockheed TriStar on a couple of occasions in the 1980s. September. Now coming up is a very snappy formation rejoin. So the solo pilot is off to the right, the 3-ship to the left. They're going to cross and display centre. The soloist on the knife edge. And the 3-ship again looping in line abreast formation, which gives ample opportunity for the solo to close down on them. doing so initially inverted.
Despite that, inverted then turning the right way up with about 60 knots of overtake. You see, just pulling a little bit of lead on the formation in order to get back into the box. Outstandingly short period of time.
Now, talking of outstanding, this next manoeuvre is a piece of aerial artistry. Slow roll, a very difficult thing to perform solo. We're going to see them do it in this very close formation.
Now the two working harder than the rest of the formation on the two on the outside. So not only are they slow rolling, but they are also rolling around the outside of the formation.
Beautifully executed, and so the team now using a wing over to come back in towards the main display line. A list of countries in which the Royal Jordanian Falcons have performed include the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Indonesia, the United States, France, Italy, Switzerland, Germany, Belgium, Spain, Norway, Austria, the Irish Republic, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands, as well as the UK. Fittingly enough, it was at the Air Tattoo in the late 1970s that the team took its British bow, and they've flown at many other venues around the United Kingdom as well over the years. But among our most treasured guests in every edition of the Air Tattoo. Now, we're coming towards the end of their display. Another clover leaf to bring them back onto the B-axis display line. They're reconfiguring into what they've done Concorde formation, getting ready for their final break. And so, with the Concorde fan break, we present to you for the final time the 2024 Royal Jordanian Falcons.
Training role for over 40 years and has been updated over the years to meet modern requirements. Its versatile maneuverability combined with the modern glass cockpit and avionics makes the Falcon excellent training aircraft for teaching air combat even on an international level. Since 1997, the Midnight Hawks have had a unique privilege to demonstrating to the public the precision techniques of military aviation, hoping to inspire a culture of excellence and passion for aviation. The maneuvers you are about to see demonstrated here today are coordinated tactical techniques developed by Air Force pilots for air combat. Here at RAF Airshow, we will demonstrate these techniques at very low altitude in the traditional Midnight Hawks diamond formation, so you will see the precise fashion of the Finnish Air Force pilots are trained to fly.
You're looking the wrong way, man. You're looking the wrong way.
The signature of the Midnight Hawks display team is its closed diamond formation, in which the four aircraft fly only with a 2 meters canopy to wingtip separation, demonstrating extreme precision. The closed diamond is a Midnight Hawks trademark, and hardly any other display team flies in such a close formation. Today, the team will fly the diamond in excess of 700 kilometers per hour and experience up to 5 times the force of gravity.
No.
In their next move, coming from the right, the team will present you the maneuver called Twist. This is one of the finest places to take nice pictures of super close diamond formation of midnight box. Next, the team will perform a maneuver called the spear. The team approaches you from the front right in a trail stack formation, from which the members of the team perform a split at the exact same time, ending in the shape called arrow.
There's him. He sounds right. You've got the red tender.
coming from your left is the line abreast flyby. This one is especially challenging for midnight war, who flies farthest from the lead plane and has to get reference for his position from the lead plane in addition to the other planes in the formation. On their next move, approaching straight in front of you, the team will perform the split section, which consists of highly dynamic, maximum closure and minimum separation head-on passes. Split section.
sadly missed over UK skies for the last 10 years, with the exception of some of the Royal International Air Tattoo displays. But a slightly different profile to what we are used to in terms of comparisons to our GR7 models.
Yes, this McDonnell Douglas built example, before McDonnell Douglas was subsumed into Boeing, part of the Harrier 2 family, which also embraced on the British side the likes of the GR5, GR7 and GR9, the latter of which was the last version in service with Joint Force Harrier when it was disbanded in 2010.
AV-8B Harrier 2 was a joint project between the US and the UK to develop a new generation of Harrier. Key differences between the original Harrier and the Harrier 2 were a more powerful engine, a larger composite wing with additional hardpoints for weapons, and an elevated cockpit. Harrier 2 entered service with the RAF as the Harrier GR5, which was later upgraded into the GR7 and GR9 variants before they were eventually retired in 2010. And the EAV-8B, E for España in this case, coming in from the right after that initial fast pass on this run, we'll see it perform an aileron roll. Two halves to this fantastic display. The first half being the fast half, using the full envelope of the aircraft. At the moment, restricted to about 450 knots and 6G, but much more to come. Following on from the US Marine Corps, which had seen the potential of the Harrier early, Spain was the first export customer for the aircraft. It bought the AV-8A model, calling it the AV-8S Matador, and there were deliveries from 1976. They operated from two Spanish Navy aircraft carriers, starting off with the Daedalo, and then from 1988 onwards, the newly commissioned Príncipe de Asturias. The EAV-8B model came in the late 80s, and the B+, as we see here, from 1996. And this version gave the Spanish Navy a night and all-weather attack capability. Now, Spain no longer has its larger aircraft carriers, so since 2013 they've been operating the EAV-8Bs from a landing helicopter dock ship, the Juan Carlos I. But it still affords them a really considerable global expeditionary capability. And recently they've been deployed on... denoting the main difference between the ultimate version of the Royal Air Force and this AV-8B we see in front of us. That contains an APG-65 multi-mode radar, giving the aircraft the ability to carry A120 AMRAAM, or Advanced Medium Range Air-to-Air, beyond visual range missiles, a very similar weapon system configuration to the ultimate version of the Royal Naval Sea Harrier. Now then, the aircraft being brought in brings two true pièces de résistance. The hover, well, we'll see the Harrier standing on those columns of thrust from the Rolls-Royce Pegasus. They can thrust over the back. It's about to get very noisy.
Yes, thanks Ben. I'm Ed Warren from Airbus Defence and Space, the Senior Military Advisor on A400M. And yes, we saw them take off using around about 3,000 feet of the runway. Lightweight aircraft this afternoon, the A400M, maximum takeoff weight of 141 tonnes and 37 tonnes of payload all around the world.
What we have here is a transport suited both to the strategic and tactical airlift missions, isn't it?
Yes, A400M developed from the outset in both of those roles, capable of landing on soft, unpaved runways, very short distances, offloading pallets, vehicles, anything that you can really think of that would fit in the back of the large cargo bay.
Now, we're not seeing a full display from the aircraft on this occasion. We're seeing a couple of flypasts, but nonetheless there are opportunities as the aircraft manoeuvres to see just how agile an airlifter this is.
That's right, A400M utilises fly-by-wire for the flight controls with a number of different flying surfaces, both on top of the wing, on the tail, and of course the traditional ailerons, elevator, rudder, combined with a side stick controller for both pilots to give it fantastic agility. And then I flew it for 3 years, and I can tell you it really moves around the sky.
Yes, because it's got very, very impressive angles of bank it can attain and isn't limited in pitch.
That's right. I don't think we'll see the display today, but it's capable of up to 120 degrees angle of bank, beyond the 90. Quite unusual for such a big airlifter. And you can see it today, I imagine, up to 60 degrees angle of bank as they come in to run down the runway.
So in for its first pass, the whole A400M fleet of the Luftwaffe stationed at Wunstorf with Lufttransport Geschwader 62, which comes under the operational control of European Air Transport Command, and that coordinates the military air transport and air-to-air refuelling assets of 7 EU member states.
A400M is operated, of course, here in the UK by the Royal Air Force. We're seeing the Luftwaffe aircraft now, but also France, Spain, Turkey, Belgium and Luxembourg, and we have Indonesia and Kazakhstan joining the club later this year.
It's a Kazakh aircraft that seems to be absolutely fabulous for the national market.
The paint looks fantastic, yes.
So, as an experienced A400M and yourself, just talk a little bit about the aircraft's capabilities as you personally experienced them on operations.
Yes, I mean, the aircraft, up to 37 tonnes of payload, 116 troops, but the Royal Air Force and some of the evacuation, real life-saving capability that is A400M.
But talking of capability, Germany has very much been at the forefront of the air-to-air refuelling role with this aircraft as well.
So on today's aircraft you can see the refuelling probe allowing it to receive fuel, but the German Air Force and Spanish and French also have them in a tanker role bit with wing pods and also a centerline hose drum unit on the cargo rack, giving them a real capability that's being used right now on the front line over NATO's eastern flank.
Yes, that hose drum unit edition, I think it was last November, wasn't it? It was certified, and it makes this into a 3-point tanker.
That's right, a 3-point tanker, capable of refueling a whole range of different combat jets, from the Typhoon that we see taxiing past us now, US Navy F-18 Hornets, and we're very pleased to have transferred to the French Air Force the capability to refuel helicopters.
Ah yes, because they make use of that with their Airbus EC-725 Caracal Special Forces helicopters, don't they?
That's right, and they're working on training up their crews as we speak.
Wheels down now for this pass.
Yes, and you can see back here on the undercarriage 12 main wheels, spreading those 141 tons of takeoff weight over a wide surface area, allowing it to land on very soft surfaces indeed. And of course, if you have a number of main wheels, you can have a number of carbon ceramic brake packs as well. And you couple that to the reverse power of the 11,000 horsepower engines, and you can stop in a very short distance indeed.
And that further aided by...
Patrouille Suisse, Lieutenant Colonel Emily Ellen,
the ground, he directs and monitors the formation of the 6th F-5 Typhoon. My name is Captain Gourmet, full sign Jody, and I will, first of all, enjoy the show with you guys, but with you as speaker today. I'll try and give you some exciting insights into the show and the Patrouille Suisse team. After departure, on the right turn out for the team that took solo pilots, number 5, number 6, breaking off from the main formation with Tiger 4 just hanging behind. A small G warm-up, small inverted flight.
Hello.
And with 1,260 hours in the team, has the most flying hours in our red and white F-5 Tiger. Tiger here flies on the left side of the leader and the controls, Major David Pereira, aka Pepe. Pepe works full-time in the flight squadron player and at the same time a flight instructor on the F-18-1. Position and is the second solo pilot. Bigfoot's real name Luke Castanini is a major and in his military militia function commander of the 6th Squadron. Last but not least, the 6th member of the Patrouille Suisse is Major Martin Scher, aka JD. Positioned as Tiger Sexy is as first solo. He will show you, the audience, what flying skills a Patrouille Suisse fighter jet pilot needs to have. Meaning simply in German, smoke on go. open up the solar part of our display with Tiger number 6 splitting from the main formation. Short vertical climb to present the Tiger in front.
Where'd it go?
Accelerating vertically the F5 to the left side, the main formation coming back in for the double blur formation. Number 5, number 4, rolling the jets around the exhaust plumes of the main formation. Demonstrating slow speed is good, demonstrating fast speed is even better. From the right back to the main formation for the split. knots to around 750 kilometers per hour. Great maneuver to have a great camera shots. Slightly to the left in the diamond barrel roll formation. A few is now joining back to the main formation.
flight, the loop entry speed of around 470 knots. At the top of the loop, the speed still around 200 knots. And the main formation preparing now for bidding you farewell. Thank you, JD.
Yeah, and on that day, Denzel Jenkins would have been flying his Hawker Typhoon over Normandy, the true role of the fighter bomber, the true aircraft, first aircraft to truly gain its title. Turbo brings the deck back towards the crowd. One more chance for photos again as he demonstrates the graceful flying with a slow roll. Great chance there to see all angles of the jet. Turbo now breaks that graceful facade and using reheat, climbs back to 500 miles an hour away from the crowd. Going back towards this 9G, this manoeuvre to be pretty cool. He leaps and rolls to capture 110 knots, transitioning from high energy to slow energy, and produces a nice inbound power roll back towards the crowd. Great chance for him at this point in the display for taking the crowd as he gives away as he turns away. Turbo now working hard to modulate that power to keep the aircraft at its limits. By slamming the rigging, it's nearly climbing into a loop. Maintaining the negative G, he pushes up towards the vertical. Before converting that back to positive G, the 12G swing, pulling back towards the crown line.
Now we should see the weapons bay open here.
on there for internal carriage of weapons. Not seen really here at Riat since the likes of the Vulcan and the Buccaneer, which had a very similar configuration, but for them it was to cut down on the drag. For this aircraft, it is to enable its stealth characteristics.
And that bay able to carry 4 medium-range air-to-air missiles, or a combination of 2 of them and a pair of paperweight 4 500-pound precision-guided bombs.
We're still very much in the build-up phase at RAF with the F-35 Lightning II force. These aircraft, nevertheless, are still in constant demand. Recently, having returned from exercise Steadfast Defender, where F-35s and 617 deployed on board HMS Prince of Wales from February through to March of 2024.
And the unit we haven't mentioned yet is the Royal Navy's first Lightning Unit, 809 Naval Air Squadron, which reformed in December of last year. And this past week, the first mission was flown by solely 809 NAS personnel. But now we see the STOVL capabilities beginning to be demonstrated by this aeroplane, and this all courtesy of this aircraft's propulsion system. The Rolls-Royce lift system is key to the next part of the display. 29,000 shaft horsepower are transferred from the main Pratt & Whitney F135 engine to the lift fan element via a drive shaft and clutch, and a thrust vectoring nozzle at the rear moves to provide propulsion for forward flight or lift, while the lift fan, just after the cockpit section, is used for vertical flight. Knots at 33 degrees angle of attack. While they're modulating the power inputs to keep the aircraft level at the slow speed and at that high alpha.
For those of you with good eyes or long lenses, you will have seen the tail area moving very, very quickly to maintain that level and straight trajectory. All done by the fly-by-wire system on board this very advanced fighter aircraft.
Now, the F-35B is going downwind. It's getting ready for a rolling vertical landing. And this type of landing is intended to be used at expeditionary sites, roads, or maybe if a runway is short or has been damaged in part, where the priority is to minimize the distance in which you bring the aircraft to a stop. The pilot will be targeting a specific flight path angle and a precise touchdown point, all based, of course, on the stopping distance that's required on the particular strip and the gross weight of the aeroplane. And of course, we're very lucky here at Fairford to actually see this, because it's one of the few runways in the country at a public display where the aircraft can land on the runway because of its load rating. Yes, in fact, I think as far as public air shows, as opposed to RAF Families Days and the like,
of the aircraft also controls the nozzle. So rotating the stick arm also rotates the nozzle to the downward position.
And contrast that with the Harrier, where, as we described earlier, there is a separate control for thrust vectoring.
Yes.
And all of this was part of de-risking the STOVL mode, as it were, of this aircraft's operation compared with the Harrier, which particularly in its early versions had been very challenging in that regime of flight. A lot of this work done on a Harrier, ironically. The Vark Harrier test bed, used latterly by Kinetic at Boston Down,
by the time it was retired, it was one of the oldest the Harriers, if not the oldest, but it really did help de-risk the process and lead to the sort of flight control laws that are now employed on the F-35B, and not just employed on the aircraft type, but being used regularly operationally. With a big rise on computing, which clearly was not available back in the 60s when the Harrier was first developed. Of course, yes. It's now, even by Harrier standards, going to get very, very noisy, because the F-35B will be coming into the hover around displayed centre point, decelerating from around 240 knots. The pilot, while managing that rate of deceleration and the height of the aircraft, to bring it into a hover at about 180 feet. And we'll then see it turning to face us, flying sideways, hopefully, along the centre line of the runway. And the air display regulations, Mark, of course, permit it to come a bit closer in the V-STOL, or STOL in this case, regime, than most other fast jets are able to.
Yes, so normally a fast jet would never come any closer than the 230 metre line, which is about 40 or 50 metres the far side of the runway. But in this configuration, given that it is hovering, the aircraft is allowed to come to 150 metres, which is, in terms of fixed-wing aircraft, the closest that you will have seen today.
And this really, really is, if you're anywhere near it, ear defenders on or fingers in your ears job.
Yeah, it's about to get very, very noisy.
And Grandad will just be able to hear it.
deployment with the new carrier involving these aircraft and their first use of operations over Iraq. 35B, Lightning.
The air brake.
Yeah.
F-21 wing of the Swedish Air Force, stationed in Sweden's far north at Luleå Kallax Air Base. He's flown this aircraft for more than 15 years. He's got an excess of 1,500 flying hours on type. He's in his 7th season as the display pilot, and he thinks this is the best air show in the world.
For a series of rolls and rollbacks. In the Swedish Air Force, including 4 operational divisions stationed at the Ronneby and Luleå, and another one, plus the operational conversion unit stationed at Sotenas. So we're stepping down to 350 knots for the F-16. And it's often at that point then that we see a vent and burn. With the aircraft just coming from the inverted position, the vent of the fuel tank is quite low on the fin, and when he lights the afterburner, often the fuel vapour will be ignited, but not on that instance. Sweden became a full NATO member in March this year. 4 days after that, Britain's Joint Air Force were launched for the first time under NATO arrangements to protect Baltic airspace, along with Belgian F-16s and German Eurofighters, and they intercepted first a Russian Tu-134 and then an An-26. But now, Sunshine slowing the pace somewhat with the Gripen for his high alpha pass. The Swedish government began a study called the versatile platform, capable of JAS, standing for riat, or air-to-air, attack, air-to-surface, and spanning, reconnaissance, and indicating the requirement for a multi-role or swing-role fighter aircraft to roles during the same mission. exercise only a few weeks back near Gothenburg, where they were training for road operations. That sort of capability doesn't just happen by chance. The requirement for suitable infrastructure has to be built in to the nation's planning. Yeah, hence the huge logistical effort required for Harrier operations in the field with the Royal Engineers and so forth.
Ladies and gentlemen, they just took off. The three sections. The main section contains Saudi 1, 2 and 3. The middle section contains Saudi 4 and 5. And the rear section is Saudi 6 and 7. I will be your commentator today, Captain Aziz. I'm a previous member of the Saudi Hawks pilot. They're changing their colors now, and soon they will make the bill dent. The shape looks like a pill, and that's the first that they will present you today. As you can see now, they will start their hand right here with the bus being in the middle. On the left side we have the odd numbers, and the right side we have the positive numbers. The next maneuver will be the helix, where the synchro pair Saudi 6 and 7, they will drop aft and they will roll around the rest of the formation, the main section. You can see they will put their smoke shortly on the right hand side. He's been with the team since 2014. He completed 10 years. He served in number 2 and number 4 and number 6 position in the previous years, and he's been the team leader for the past 3 years with experience more than 3,000 hours. Now the team will rejoin, and they will come back from your left hand side presenting the Tiger bent. They are making their entrance from the left hand side with the Tiger bent. The British aircraft, the Tornado, with experience over 2,000 hours on the British aircraft, the Tornado. He's from the center side of Saudi Arabia, and he's the newest member in the team. He's been with the team for almost 2 years now. Now the team will make their entrance from your left hand side for the spear bend.
north-west side of Saudi Arabia from a city called Al-Wajh. Previously he flew the F-15C, the American aircraft. We have experience over 1,500 hours, and he also been a member of the team in the past 2 years. Now the team will make the entrance from the right-hand side for the diamond roll, where they will roll as a one unit. He's been with the team since 2019. He flew the previous numbers of 3 and 7, and currently he flies as a number 5. He's from the south part of Saudi Arabia, from a city called Jordanian. Our next maneuver will be the 10th. The team will pull up for a loop as the formation reaches 70 degrees nose right. The team leader will give the command for the team to turn right 90 degrees. As the team descends down, they will split, presenting in front of you the Arabian tent. Ladies and gentlemen, look and get your cameras ready for the center. They're changing their colors. They start their block, and now they will draw the Saudi symbol, the Ba. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saudi logo. Okay, you can see they just put their smoke on, and now they will make the intersection right in front of you. In front of the display line. Saudi 7 coming with the green smoke, Saudi 6 with the red smoke. Saudi 6 is Captain Khalawi. He's from the center of Saudi Arabia, from a city circle around the main formation. Representing the Saudi flag right in front of you. Saudi 4, he is rolling around the formation. He is Major Sufyani from a city called Al-Taif in the west of Saudi Arabia with experience over 3,000 hours. He's been with the team for 6 years. They will go for a full hard as the weather today is good.
and they will make another roll also from the left. We call this maneuver the snake roll. He's been flying with the team since 2020 with experience over 2,000 hours. He flew the F-15C previously in his career. You can see the Saudi 1, 2 and 3, they make their left-hand turn, while Saudi 4 and 5 right-hand turn, they will turn back to the display line, the white one, and 2 minutes for the color one. Now look, if you look to the left and to the right, you will see them making their entrance for the display line. They are coming for the vortex maneuver. Focus to keep the speed and the height for the 360-degree turn. Now they will make their second section in front of you, and then they will turn back to the display line. Saudi 4 and Saudi 5 with the red smoke turning around the formation. I will let you hear. From the left hand, from the right. You have 77 coming from the left and 76 coming from the right. They will cross path and fly inverted. As you can see, Saudi 6 coming from the left, and the main section coming from the right. Flying. Now if you look to the right, you will saw Saudi 7. He will fly the low-level path. Smoke on. I will let you hear the boss command for the team members. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sony Hawks